No.
Put it under your name. I lost my fake ID. The hotel shouldn't be too expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the body's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. She walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome into episode 168 of Phired Up. I'm your host, Don Ponsel. With me, as always, is Chris Lucia. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
It's been a while. We're it's just us two tonight. We're without Mike. I think we're without Mike next week too.
Mike's on the DL, right?
Yeah, he's too busy playing hockey. So he told me today that did he text both of us? I can't remember. That he's out for this week and probably out next week. And I think he has I think he texted me that because we were supposed to link up. No, he texted me over the weekend. It wasn't today. I think it was yesterday. He texted me because I have to learn how to use our new streaming service thing that we used for the first time last week. So he wanted to try to get together at some point. So he texted me that he wasn't going to be on tonight and next week, I think, to try to find a time so I could figure out how the hell to use technology. So we didn't get to do that. That's why we're doing StreamYard this week. So, but yes, man. So how you been? It's been a while.
Dude, it's been, let me tell you, I woke up this morning and usually I'm like, man, we do this so late every Monday.
Yeah, literally the same. Literally the same exact thought.
I come home every Monday and I'm like, hey, Brianna, don't forget, I have the show tonight. Probably the same thing as you. Both our wives are teachers. So like, we spend as much time as we can. Yeah. But then I'm like, ooh, it's just me and Dom tonight. So something pops in my head, and I'm like, me and Dom usually agree on everything.
Most things.
Except the hot topic in Philadelphia right now, which is like, I was like, do we start the show off with that? Or do we kind of end it with that?
No, I think so I am very pro, like, whatever the big story is, we do that last. Just so, but I think tonight we should start with it because I want to end on a positive note. I want to end on the Phillies. I want to end. We can listen. We're probably going to argue. I don't want to end the show arguing. You know, I want to end on the positives. Yeah. When's the last time we were on? After week 1, right?
Ago. Yeah.
So that was when you were in Minnesota. Yep. Right before you went to Minnesota.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah. So I guess we can get right into it. The Eagles stink.
Yeah, go ahead. You think it's the coach. You blame Nick for everything.
Yeah. Yes.
If there was
not for everything. No. Not for everything. I just think Nick is the biggest problem.
Okay.
Actually, the second biggest problem. I'll go second biggest problem.
All right. So what's the biggest problem?
The GM.
So Howie, who you praised all off season, because you
didn't praise him.
You didn't praise him for the Saquon move.
And at first, I was not pro Saquon. I'll definitely retract, and I'll say that after a couple weeks, a couple days of letting it marinate, yeah, great.
Jahan Dotson move you liked? at the time.
What? Yeah, sure.
So we like him until it's not working. Now we don't like him.
Correct. That's how his job works. That's how his job works, does it not?
I think you know who I think the problem is.
Why don't you tell us?
I think the problem, and it's not even so much you think I hate the guy. You think
I don't think it. I know it. I know you hate the guy.
I am so much of a want him to win and want Jalen Hurts to be a winner. Like I told you yesterday, like I have 2 Jalen Hurts jerseys. Like I don't buy jerseys on guys unless I actually am in on them.
But you didn't hate him when you bought them.
No, I didn't.
That's the thing.
True, I did not hate. But I just think he has regressed every single year. And I think Tyrod Taylor is better than him.
No, he's not. It's not even close.
I mean,
you're just fucking with me because I didn't answer your text today because I was busy at work.
Dude, I'm just saying that his okay. Jalen Hurts, we didn't get to talk about the Atlanta game, right?
Yes, correct.
So we'll go back to there. He makes a good throw. Saquon drops it, right? You're going to say the coach shouldn't have put us in that position. He should have taken points.
Yes.
I know.
Yes. No. Wait, I'm sorry. Which play? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about just in general in that game. Your response is going to be like he should have probably taken points, right?
It depends what point in the game. In the first drive, they had the ball. They were in the red zone. They went for the first down. Kenny Gainwell gets the ball. Stupid. Second down. Kenny Gainwell gets the ball. Stupid. Third down, they try to force to a rookie receiver who again it was a terrible decision. It was a terrible throw. Rookie receiver should not be in that position in the red zone when you have Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah.
Terrible decision. Terrible on all parts. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore.
Fourth down. Forced throw to Dallas Goedert. Again, bad on Jalen Hurts, bad on Nick Sirianni, bad on Kellen Moore, right? At no point did the guy that you just paid how much money for the next 2 years to run him into the dirt, he didn't get the ball. Okay, whatever, fine. The next drive, what do? They get to the red zone, same thing. Doesn't see the ball inside the 20. The next drive, when they get into the red zone, he actually sees the ball, almost scores, and then Hurts goes in and scores. So what happens when you actually give a top 3 running back, maybe the best running back? He's the best running back in the league this year.
He is. Yeah.
What happens when you give him the ball? You get, even if he doesn't score, you get closer to the goal line and you score. Later on in the game, they get back to the red zone, still don't give him the ball. Then finally, I think they had 5 possessions in the red zone that game. Finally, the 5th one was the controversial end of the game.
The right call. That was the right call.
Absolutely wrong call. Absolutely wrong call. It's not the right call because – go ahead. I was on the show that week. I was able to give my opinion, so I'll let you give yours.
Analytics there say you run that play. And I think you were the one who even brought it up that if Hurts didn't see him open, he was supposed to take a sack, right? Like, I think you were the one that said that to me. So, okay, well, then if you didn't, the play design call there was...
I think they said that on the postgame interview.
They said that Barkley, if he's open in the flat, hit him in the flat. If not, just drop down and take
it should never be a throw. It should never be a throw. That's the problem.
When you're that wide open, dude, but it's not just the Eagles doing this. That it's other teams around the NFL are doing the same thing.
I think it's stupid. Look how it ended.
You're thinking, yeah, but if Saquon catches the ball there, game's over.
Absolutely. But A, he didn't, and B, because he didn't, it was the wrong call. Like if he catches the ball, I'm not as animated or upset. Absolutely. I will admit that. But there's still something in your mind where you say that still wasn't the right call. Just like the Saints game last week when they didn't take the points when they should have 2 different times. Yes, I'm not upset because they won the game. But at the same time, that's in your mind now. It's like,
but isn't that what
take the points?
But isn't that what we loved about Sirianni the year he went to the Super Bowl? That he didn't take points, that he went for it, didn't.
But he didn't do it there. He took the points there.
Well,
what I'm saying is you should have run the ball on 3rd down. I don't care if they stack it with 10 guys, right? You have Saquon Barkley, a guy that could very easily, not very easily, but more than anybody else aside from McCaffrey, who could very well break a tackle and score a touchdown or get a first down or whatever it is. Then it's 4th down. You put it down to 58 seconds on the clock, right? Go for it. Throw it. I don't care what you do. Run the ball, throw the ball. If it's incomplete or short, the clock stops anyway. Then they have 55 seconds to get down the field, 60 yards. They're playing for a field goal. They're playing for a field goal the entire time. And if they score, I'll respect it. Congratulations. Beat us.
But so now getting all that's done.
Right.
Now we get the ball back. We got 55 seconds the Eagles had, right?
Wait.
37 seconds?
No, there was a minute. What?
When the Eagles get the ball back, how much time's left? 58 seconds when they got the ball back after Atlanta scores.
I'm not sure what you mean.
How much time was on the clock?
So they had the ball. It was a minute 42 left when the Falcons got the ball.
Yeah, but so when the Eagles got the ball after the Falcons scored.
They didn't. It was like 15 seconds, whatever.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
100%. Yes, it was, dude. They went down the field. They didn't have any timeouts. They didn't go out of bounds.
They left 30-something seconds on the clock.
Okay, but it's still not 55. But it's still not 55 seconds.
But the Eagles had 2 timeouts. And all they had to do, they started at the 30. All they had to do was go.
They should. I know where you're going with this. He threw the pick. I understand it was a bad decision, 100%. He shouldn't have been in that position because.
But my thing is, why didn't he learn from Seattle last year? You let Drew Lock do the same thing last year,
dude.
And you
last
did
year,
the same thing.
Okay,
why is he playing hero ball? He's not a hero.
I agree, but the problem is that when the players look around at each other, and it happened in Seattle last year, and they all admit it, the players and the coach admit it. We don't know what we're doing out here. Whose fault is that? And Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown literally wrote up a play by themselves. Jalen said, "Go deep." Yeah. Whose fault is that?
That's the coaches last year. This year there was guys open. There were guys open on that.
I understand. I totally get it, dude. They should have never been in that position 100%. I'm sorry. They shouldn't have been.
But Dallas Goedert in the middle of the field with his hands open. Why are you forcing it to Devontae Smith, who weighs as much as my son and your daughter combined?
You're focusing on the wrong thing completely. They should have never been in that position, ever.
I'm focusing, but what I focus on is leadership, right? And making smart decisions.
Okay,
there's no smart decision made there. And I feel like he's actually getting his play calls. I'm just so tired of I actually have a tweet that I wanted to share with you because I think you love this guy. You like Seth Joyner, right?
Nah.
I thought you were a Seth guy.
I honestly, I hate the tough guy act that he puts on when he was on TV. I mean, like every once in a while, I'll like what he puts out there, but I'm not really like a big Seth Joyner guy.
He said today, "I'm starting to be really concerned about Jalen. I've been one of his biggest proponents. His news conference yesterday, I got to get better. We've heard this crap before. At some point, you have to stop saying it and start doing it."
Okay, let me just tell you something. I've already told you I am not this Hurts lover. I am not this guy that's gonna go. If they had a replacement for him today, do it. 100%. But at least I can admit that my guy that I'm sticking up for right now stinks. You can't sit here and say that Nick Sirianni stinks, dude. They should have never been in that position. You want to sit here and say stop playing hero ball, but he had to play hero ball with 30 seconds left. What do you mean?
But you can hit. Aaron Rodgers isn't making that throw down the field, right? True or false? He's finding quick outs with
not
that.
Not this year. Did you see him yesterday?
Yeah, but he's got nobody right now. I'm just saying.
Who did Hurts have yesterday?
I'm talking about the week against Atlanta. I'm talking about the week against Atlanta. He had his guys.
He had the same guys he had in 2021 when they were horrible that year too.
But you could run quick outs there, right? You can run quick patterns. You can run, but he's not. He rolls out. He thinks he's got the.
He doesn't make the play calls though.
He thinks, but what I'm saying is he has guys open, but he thinks he's got the best arm on the field. He doesn't. His arm is terrible. His arm is so bad.
I'm telling you, there is zero reason for them to be in that position at all. Zero. It's losing football. If you throw the ball on third down there, winning football is here's the handoff, run the clock down, and then if you want to go for it on fourth down, like you always have, great. But you know what? No, because they did this in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. All year they went for it. Fourth and short, anything from fourth and 6 and under. They went for it until the fucking Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, at the end of the third quarter, they went for it. They decided to go up 6 on 4th and 6 on the 40. And that decision hurt them. And that's how they lost the game. He did it again.
Yeah, but
he did it again. You don't go up 6. I'm sorry. It's losing football. You do not go up 6.
When you pay, yeah, but you're paying these guys to make the plays.
And you're paying him to make the right calls.
How much are you making? How much are you paying a coach? How much is Sirianni making?
It doesn't.
$2.5 million.
Dude, honestly,
Saquon Barkley's making $13 million. You got to make that catch.
100%.
You got to make that
100%
out of 100 times.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts is making how much money? You have to make the right throw. I'm not saying every time. You can't make the right throw.
Okay, but then by you're so upset about the throw that he made with 30 seconds left, whatever it was.
No,
it was a great throw to Barkley. Was it not?
It was a great throw to Barkley.
Yeah, and he dropped it.
They
should have ran the ball.
I'm upset with how poorly he's handled the ball this year in general.
100%. Dude, it's a real concern.
A lackadaisical concern with it, and it's gone. The problem is, and I think me and you, I talked to you about this yesterday. I think with what I do is like my profession, I tend to stick up for the guy in charge, right? Just because I know that can be me.
But let me stop you there. That's perfectly fine, and I totally understand. I'm also a manager in my office. Like, I get it. I have people under me that I have to tell every day that, you're doing something wrong or you're doing something right. Great. But you have people that are higher up to you that you probably dislike, correct? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I just think like you're just giving this guy a cop out, and I'm not giving Hurts a cop out. I think Hurts, the turnovers have been horrible. I think the decision making has been horrible. I think he's got to find that balance in 2022 let's compare it to last year. Last year, how much we were telling him or we were complaining that he would leave the pocket way too early, and it would cost them, right? Like, that was a real problem last year. Yep. This year, he's staying too long. Yes, you have to find that balance, right?
Yeah.
But like, especially yesterday, who the hell is he throwing it to yesterday?
No,
to me.
So here's the thing.
And the offensive line has been dead.
Yeah, yesterday, I was mad at Hurts, right? But in the back of my brain, I rationalized at the beginning of the game. They
probably weren't going to win.
They were going to lose. They were going to lose that game.
Absolutely. That's why I'm not upset about yesterday either. Like,
I'm actually really not that mad, except the fumbles. The fumbles I am upset at. You got to hold on to them.
The pocket presence has to be better. I don't disagree with you. I just think that there's a chance, because we've seen them start 10-0 or what it was 10-1 last year, right? They start 10-1. And even in the wins, aside from the Miami game last year and the first Tampa game, aside from that, they look exactly how they look in these first 4 weeks. Not great, but like, they're kind of just like the 2 wins. They kind of just like scraped by, right? But like, I think the way that season ended last year, you lose to Arizona, you lose to the Jets in that 10-1 start.
Yeah.
I just, my thing is, and I said this before the season started, I think that it's so hard to fire Sirianni because of he got you to the Super Bowl to the playoffs 3 straight years, went to the Super Bowl. They probably should have won the Super Bowl.
They start
off 10-1, whatever it is. But how do you not fire him after the terrible ending of last year? Like, I see both sides of it. I do, and I was pro keeping him. But you know what? Just like nothing seems to have changed from the last year. And this is now new coordinators, and they look exactly the same. It's now you brought in Saquon Barkley, who's supposed to be getting the ball in the red zone, doesn't get the ball in the red zone. Dude, he even yesterday, and I understand. I totally agree. Yesterday was, you kind of expected it, right? Barkley didn't get the ball until the second quarter. He had one touch till the second quarter, and then they start the second half on a 59-yard run, and then you don't see him for a while. I don't get it. And I'm no Kellen Moore lover either. I didn't love the hire when they hired him. There were other guys that I would have rather had, but that's also on the offensive-minded coach. He's the head coach. He has to have responsibility. I don't care if Kellen Moore's calling 100% of the plays, which I don't even believe. So he is the face of this. If you, as a manager, and me, if something goes wrong in our area, we're the face of it, right? We're the ones that have to get everybody ready to go. If the players are not ready to go, that is on the head coach. I'm sorry. Like, it's the decision making, the How about last year going into week 1? He said, maybe when they played the Patriots, maybe we have to have the players play in the preseason. Maybe that's something that we have to actually think about because we didn't come off starting great. What did they do this year? Not that.
Yeah, no.
I just want accountability for everybody. I hold Hurts. He is accountable. He has been very bad this year. I totally agree. He has not been a $255 million quarterback. I totally agree. I just don't. I'd rather get rid of the coach than the quarterback. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think, okay, but there's times where you, like we said before, you don't like who you work for, but you should still rally on them, right?
I mean, if he's losing a whole locker room, which it seems that at the end of last year he did, A.J. Brown didn't want to talk about him. A.J. Brown was very upset. The quarterback's very upset. I mean, if there's multiple people that are upset, maybe he shouldn't be here. Maybe. But I mean, he's here for the year. You know what I mean? I don't think you're firing him right now. I think
get other people that are so for him. Brandon Graham, so for him. Fletcher Cox.
Have to say,
Fletcher Cox retired. He didn't have to say it. Fletcher Cox came out and said he's for him.
They're so trained, dude. Kelsey's on WIP on Thursday, whatever day it is, the Tuesday mornings every week. He's already said on there. He said, "I'm so trained on saying these things, even post-retirement. That what does that mean?"
I'm just.
Fletcher Cox also loved Carson Wentz.
Yeah, well, we can go. Let's not go down that road.
What'd you say?
I said, let's not go down that road.
Yeah, well,
Carson Wentz road.
You might be starting in Kansas City soon.
Yeah. The thing is, you pay these guys this money to go out and execute a playbook and a play. And his throws are so bad. Last week, they're playing New Orleans. Dallas Goedert catches this one ball that should have never even been it was 5 feet out of his reach, but he caught it. He caught it because he's a good tight end.
Sure.
But why are we regressing? What did we do?
Because there's one common denominator for a guy that leads a team. They're regressing, so you have to get rid of that guy. They got rid of Doug because they regressed. Yeah, they got rid of both. I understand the quarterback and the coach.
They also got rid of Carson.
But they got rid of the coach before they got rid of the quarterback. So you just gave this guy $255 million. I just don't think that they're going to say, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but I just don't think they're going to be well, Kenny Pickett's the guy now.
No.
I mean, they're going to get the coach is going to be the first one gone, and we're going to see what it is. I don't love Jalen Hurts. I'm not this Jalen Hurts all over everybody lover. I will tell you that in 2021 he was bad, and in 2022 he got better. He progressed. Yeah. I told you that in 2022 when everybody said, "Oh, maybe we were wrong about him." No, we weren't. He was really bad in 2021. He was great in 2022, and in 23 and 24 he's just been somewhere in the middle of that.
But the thing is, Dom, as much as you don't believe it, I want him to be good.
It's not that I don't believe it.
With my heart to be good.
I understand. It's not that I don't believe it, but when you make excuses for the coach and when you make excuses for everybody, I'm sitting here saying, yes, the quarterback's a problem. You haven't said that the coach is a problem. It's the whole team. I
just don't understand. Okay, so here, if Sirianni was calling the plays, at the end of last year, he's the problem, right? But
what makes you believe that he's not doing it right now? If they look exactly the same, just with a little bit of motion.
There's no way somebody wouldn't have leaked that out by now.
Maybe only 2 people know.
If it's a Jalen Camp thing, like it was last year, there's no way that information's not.
I don't know, man. We still don't know what happened with Carson Wentz. So
no,
it's 4 years down the road.
Yeah,
3 years, whatever.
Yeah, no, you're right.
How he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, well, that is another thing. He does know how to place strategic blame.
I just think he's the biggest problem. I do. He for years he's telling you linebackers don't matter, and it's just dude, this defense had one great defensive season in our lifetime. Well, not in our lifetime, but in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Even the Super Bowl year, they gave up 500 yards in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that one good year was 2 years ago when they almost broke the sack record, and they weren't even great that year. They could just get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So, she's telling you linebackers don't matter. They matter. Look at the teams that have won Super Bowls.
Yeah,
they have great linebackers. They have good linebackers. They have good linebackers.
I think our linebacker play besides yesterday has been decent.
They're so bad in coverage, dude.
They are bad in coverage.
They're good tacklers. They're very good tacklers.
And that's what a linebacker should be, though. The linebacker position has changed. But what happens is you should drop into when you think it's going to be running downs or quick hitting downs, you leave your linebackers in there. But when you think it's going to be a passing down, you leave Vaughn in there and you go to a dime or a nickel and you put 5 out there, 5 corners out there.
I will sit here and say that the linebacker play in coverage suffers. Or not suffers, but they struggle because they don't have a pass rush. I totally buy that. I think the pass rush is everything. I'm totally on board with that. But look at their pass rushers, dude. He gave Josh, or I don't even know his first name, Huff. It's not
Bryce
Josh.
Huff.
Bryce Huff. Gave Bryce Huff a blank check. He's done more. He's done almost the same amount as me.
I think you've done more.
I might have. I may have. See me on Thanksgiving. I do more. So like. But here's the thing: it's the ego. It's the ego of Howie Roseman because he sat there a couple years ago and said, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance on Chris Long. He's probably done, but I'm gonna take it. And he had a great year, great 2 years.
And Garrett Blunt.
Well, I'm talking about defensive end.
Okay.
He brings in Hassan or pass rusher. He brings in Hassan Reddick, who yes he had double-digit sacks the year before he came here, but it's the only year I think he's ever had it. Was always put in the wrong position. Let's take a chance on him. They take a chance on Hassan Reddick, and it works out for 2 years, right? Like, I just think he said, you know what, I'm going to take a chance on Josh Huff because I keep hitting him, and my ego tells me that I just close my. I'm like Smalls in the Sandlot. I close my eyes and put the glove up, and it just magically goes in the glove, and it's just going to keep happening for me. Like, if you knew that Josh Huff couldn't play football, or the fact that he had 10 sacks. Bryce Huff. I keep calling him Josh.
You're messing him and Josh Sweat.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm thinking of
Sweat can't sack the quarterback either.
No, none of them. But I'm thinking of who was that receiver? Wasn't there a receiver, Josh Huff?
Yeah, there was.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Good call.
He's done more than Bryce Huff. But what was I saying here?
That they keep
10 sacks last year. He had 10 sacks last year. All were in the 3-point stance. He has not been in the 3-point stance yet. What is that? Coaching. It's Fangio and it's Sirianni. Like and I'm sorry. I know he doesn't do defense, but he's the head coach. He's held responsible. Those coordinators I'm not a fan of. The coach I'm not a fan of. I'm not really even a fan of the quarterback either. They stink from top to bottom. And I also think that the defense doesn't have great players either. CJ Gardner-Johnson's been shit this year. Yeah, really the only positive on that side of the ball is 1 week of Jalen Carter and Quinyon Mitchell, and Slay's been like okay, but again, it's hard for those two guys, Mitchell and Slay, to be good if there's no pass rush. And what does that lead us back to? Who brings the guys in?
Howie,
right?
Not Nick.
No, correct. That's what I'm saying. Howie's the biggest problem to me. Yeah. This is going to be if they fire this coach. This is going to be the 4th head coach that he's going to have to hire.
Yeah.
Who else has a bigger leash?
I mean, he might lose his job too at that point.
Who?
He might.
I don't think there's any way. I just think he is locked in here for a long time.
If they have another bad season, which I actually think they're still going to win 12 games. I think that once they have that offense back, their defense to me, and I was talking to a guy at work today because he's like, dude, their defense sucks. Yeah, if you're out there for 25 minutes, you're going to suck. You're going to be gassed. Once they get
did Mitchell play 77 snaps yesterday?
Yeah, you're going to be gassed.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's and you're going to miss tackles. Like, missing tackles happens when you're gassed.
And it happens when you play in 105-degree weather too. But that's not an excuse. So
well, they should have been prepared for that. Like
100%. I think Tampa. I think they said Tampa was getting like IVs on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday. Yeah, they should have been.
What is this, the first time we played in Tampa? Like,
no, we get rocked in Tampa.
Of course, all the time. I just think it's a whole organization problem. I think Hurts is a problem. I do. I don't want you to think that I don't. The turnovers are a real problem. The decision making, it's a real problem. But yesterday, Dallas Goedert dropped a great pass. Like, I personally think that Devontae Smith, the one that he was intercepted on in the red zone, I think that, yes, it should have been a better throw. Absolutely. But also, Smith gives up on the route right before he throws it, if you watch it. And also, it should be Dallas Goedert who
That's
gets that.
true. Yeah, that's true. That's bad packages.
Right. It's the whole team. It's the whole organization. It's not just Sirianni. It's not just Hurts. It's both of them. I just think you have to hold Sirianni to a higher standard, mostly because I think you have to look at who Hurts is throwing the ball to. Week 1 was the most complete they've been.
Yeah,
week two,
I
week
think
2 they refused to give the ball in the red zone, and also they were out without AJ Brown. They looked like 2021 offense. And then week 3, everybody starts to get hurt. Lane and Becton go down. Smith goes down. Finally, they give the ball to Saquon, and he breaks off for a touchdown. Like it's just like it's the obvious. Like, why are we sitting here not giving Barkley the ball? I don't get it. He's your best player right now.
I think week 6 against Cleveland. I think I think they come out and they blow the doors off of Cleveland.
But here's my problem, and I'm not going to say you're wrong. I really hope that's true. I could see it if AJ's healthy and Smith is healthy, and we can get a little bit of a pass rush. I totally agree. But does that give you confidence for the following week? Because I thought they looked pretty good against the Saints, and then they came out against Tampa and were horrible. So like it's just like a week to week thing. I don't know that we could sit here and put in a couple games. Like I'm not confident in that yet.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. I think there's a lot wrong with this team. A lot. And I'm ready to jump to 2026 so we could draft Arch Manning. So that was my spiel. So
well, and I just want to come out of this conversation, knowing I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I know. I'm very critical of him, though.
Absolutely. I just think you have to look at it with some kind of like thing where like I said, week 2 he's without his best receiver, and AJ Brown is a game changer.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that Jalen Hurts is also very bad at his reads. Like if his number one guy isn't open, he's lost, right? Like in 2022, he got so good at. He did it in 2021, and then in 2022, he got so much better at like not just if the first guy isn't open, I'm gonna go to the next guy, right? Like, and he's lost that the last 2 years. So like, I just think that's also coaching. Like I think you as a coach you have to prepare him for that, and I think that you have to hold both of them accountable. That's all. I just want to hold everybody accountable. I don't want to sit here and say like, it's all on Jalen Hurts. It's not. I mean, a lot of it is, but I think you represent what you put out there as a coach.
Yeah.
We've seen them succeed.
Yeah.
And again, on top of that whole thing, I think as a GM, you have to, you're the one who makes all the decisions.
Yeah. When is the pass rush ever going to get there, though?
I mentioned something to Mike. I don't know if it was before the Saints game, and it kind of. Well, okay, I mentioned him something on the show, and then I texted somebody else something. 2 different things. One, this was before the Saints game, so it was after the Falcons game, before the Saints game. If I asked him, and I mean, it's you can't really ask me now because we've seen how it's played out. But I asked him, I was like, do you think that if they go out and get a pass rusher, and maybe not like a Max Crosby or an Aiden Hutchinson, or like not a guy like to that level, but like a Judon level, like a guy what Bryce Huff is supposed to be, right? If you go out and get that, do you think that this team could get better? And he said, I don't know, maybe. And then we saw that they got pressure in the Saints game, and it was like, okay, maybe they are just a pass rush away from being really, really good, right? So I mentioned that to him, and then I also mentioned to somebody else, would you move Jalen Carter to the defensive end and start Neil Williams?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Because that's what I would do at this point.
Yep.
If you're not going to go out and get I mean, obviously they're a ways away from the deadline, but like if you think you can't go out and get somebody, I mean, what do you have to lose?
Did you see that they said that they're not allowed to get Hassan Reddick? Like there's a rule.
Yeah, it's like a 2-year rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I'd want that anyway. Like I think he was a big locker room problem last year.
I do too. They said he was a stat chaser last year, trying to get numbers.
I don't want that. But yeah, I would definitely consider moving Carter to the outside. And he looked gas yesterday too. He played a lot of snaps too. So when you just can't get to the quarterback, the whole defense falls apart. But I don't know. I need Avonte Maddox off the field. You
need Cooper DeJean out there.
Anybody, me, I'll go out there.
Yeah, well, Maddox had a pretty good pass breakup the other day.
One play this year.
Yeah.
He also can't stay healthy either. Like that's also a liability. Like he's also a liability there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you this Detroit game?
Yeah, I am watching this.
You see this like the way they're all lined up. That was weird. Detroit
is such a complete team. I know that every team has their flaws, but that's who Sirianni wants to be. Dan Campbell.
The thing is, he could be better than Dan Campbell. He could be. He just confuses me. He really does. It's just, like I told you, all year in 2022, they went for it on fourth down. They would always go for it. And then they go up 6 instead in the Super Bowl. And that was the turning point of the Super Bowl. Even if they threw the ball on third down against Atlanta like they did, I would even go for it on fourth down. Like, where are the balls? Like, they went for it on fourth down on the first drive. Go for it again. Make them go down the field. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just confuses me. That's all.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of question marks, though.
Okay. I agree.
But, was that?
No, I agree. I think that there's just way too many question marks. It's the issue.
And I think they're all fixable. Like, it's just maybe there are too many that need to be fixed. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
can you just hold on for 1 second? I have to make like a phone call real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just here by myself, but I just genuinely do think that there are a lot of issues with this team. They were terrible in all phases of the game yesterday, and I expected them to lose. I didn't expect them to go out there with all the injuries that they had to go out there and win. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that there are so many question marks with this team and this coach and this quarterback, and we're stuck with the quarterback. We're stuck with the quarterback for now, and it's just looking forward into the next off season, I suppose. I don't know. It's a great week to come in. All right, so you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
I was just reiterating everything that we talked about. I think it's a perfect week for the bye.
Yeah, everybody to get healthy.
Regroup a little bit in-house. If some of these guys want to go away for a couple of days, let them go away for a couple of days and relax. But you come back ready to play.
Yeah, I think it was a great decision as much as it hurt at the beginning to have A.J. Brown sit as much as he did.
Because it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish.
Yeah.
And I just think that I said that from the beginning. I think we all agreed. It was probably the best decision because hamstrings and receivers do not hamstring is a very serious injury for a receiver, and you don't want it to get any more serious than what it is. And I think they played it right. It just so happened that Devontae had a concussion.
Yeah.
It happens, and,
How are you? Are you in favor of he would be somebody that are you in favor of him wearing that Guardian cap?
Oh, I don't care what they wear.
Devontae Smith?
I don't care what they wear.
Do you think he should be one that, like, come on, dude, look at you?
Because he's small?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is his injury history with concussions? I'm not sure.
Not bad, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Like, I'm not gonna like sit here and say like he should or shouldn't do something like medically. I don't know the answer to that. But I don't care what they could wear fucking, stormtrooper helmets for all I give a shit.
I think he would be one that I would put a Guardian cap on. Barkley would be one I would put a Guardian cap on. He takes so many hits, dude. I mean,
did you see the thing that Goodell came out like right before the season and said they have a helmet in production that they're going to finally hopefully make a deal on soon that is going to like be like a much safer helmet so they don't have to wear the Guardian cap? Did you see that at all before the start of the season?
No.
I saw that Goodell came out and basically said like they're working on something to definitely limit the concussions and the head injuries and the neck injuries. That's not a guardian cap, so I think that's good.
Yeah, you know what? Yesterday they were showing the different positions are now getting like designed differently.
Yeah,
on the impact.
Like offensive linemen, I think are like because they bang their heads on every play.
Yep.
Offensive, defensive line. So, yeah. I mean, if there's anything else you have on the Eagles, we're going to the bye. I think it's like I said. I think it's good that we're going to the bye with the amount of injuries. Just just to regroup a little bit mentally, emotionally, physically. And then they come. I think it's good that they come home to Cleveland. Honestly, Cleveland's not very good. You want to talk about a quarterback getting money that probably shouldn't have. I mean, that's one guy, but dude, would you rather have Jalen Hurts or like this version of Russell Wilson or this version of Watson or this version of Jalen Hurts for that
matter? Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's not much off, but like, I'm also somebody who sits here and says like, I think they had to sign him. I do. I think that coming off of that season. Joe Burrow had the same thing, had only one season like that, and he got paid. Josh Allen, the same thing. Like, if you look at his first 3 years, he only had one good year after his third year. So, like, what else were they going to do? Who else were they going to? Yeah, who else were they going to bring in? You know, if you wanted to trade up for Williams, the quarterback in Chicago, what's his name?
Caleb
Williams. Like, you're not getting to that number one pick. And if you wanted to go get Jalen Daniels, or whatever his name is, from Washington. Washington's not going to trade with you.
Yeah.
A division rival for a quarterback. Like, I don't know. Every quarterback gets paid early. I think it's an NFL problem. I don't think it's an Eagles problem. I think it's an NFL problem. But yeah, I mean, if you had anything else on the Eagles, I'm not sure.
I think their special teams look terrible.
All three phases looked horrible yesterday.
The bumping into Cooper DeJean twice, like the Eli, what's his name? Elijah Rogers, Isaiah Rogers.
Isaiah Rogers, yeah.
I thought that was the rule too. You're allowed to push the guy.
I think it used to be
the penalty.
Yeah,
but that was terrible.
That's coaching though, not Sirianni. That's special teams. If your guy, that your guy hasn't played the gunner position since college or whatever it was, or early in his NFL career, like you have to make sure he knows the rules, the most basic rules.
Yeah,
and that's the same thing with Huff. There was some issue there, whether it was he actually does stink before he came here, like that's a problem on the GM, or like if he's uncoachable, like that's a problem on the GM, and also if he's coachable but you're just not putting him in a position to succeed, that's on Fangio. Like, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it's top to bottom. But yeah, hopefully he can come back.
Penn State football.
What's that?
Did you watch any Penn State football?
I haven't watched much college football. I know the Georgia-Alabama game was incredible this week, but I have not watched much college. I know they're undefeated. Were they ranked 9th or?
They're ranked 7th. They're ranked
7th. Were they ranked 9th going into this week?
They were. They got UCLA this week at Penn State.
12 o'clock, right?
Yeah, which is a pretty crazy game.
Yeah. Trying to think what else is going on in college. Arch Manning, obviously future Eagle Arch Manning.
Would you would tank right now? You're down for tanking.
Well, when he's ready, yeah. When he's ready to come out of the draft. So that's 2026?
Yeah.
So it's at the 2020 next season, yeah.
So you're down to then just cut him. Cut
Jalen. For Arch Manning, yeah.
Yeah, okay. 100%. All right.
I do a lot of things for Arch Manning. It's yeah, dude, I think he's got it. I think listen, he hasn't really he hasn't started much. This was his first start, right?
Second.
Did he come in the week before?
He started against UL Monroe and did not look. He did not look good against General Booty. That's UL Monroe's quarterback's name.
Okay.
General Booty.
Who didn't look good? Arch or
Arch? No, he didn't have like this spectacular game.
Okay.
I don't think think he had like a great game against who they played this past week.
Yeah, he had a couple really, really good throws. I did see a lot of his stuff from this past week.
But
that's the problem. They haven't really played anybody. He hasn't really played anybody. He came in like halfway through week 1. They're up like 60. He hasn't played from behind. Like there are definitely question marks there, or not question marks, but you have to kind of see what it is before it like happens. But yeah, I think he's got the intangibles. I think he's he throws a really pretty ball. I think he's got balls. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he comes from a good family too. So
yeah. Oh, anything else on football before we do the picks? Mike didn't send his picks.
No, he didn't.
Did you do yours?
I did do mine. Did you do yours?
Yes. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? And then I guess he'll just tell us his, and then
where are we ranked at right now? Do we know?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not gonna even pretend like I know. I had a really shitty week last. I think I went 1-4 last week.
Well, we're gonna have to change it up. Okay. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up. So next week, I am gonna take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at +1.5 against the Falcons.
Okay, I looked at that one.
I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at -2.5 versus the Jets. And I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills at +1.5 at Houston.
Okay. You think they bounce back?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to.
Yeah.
My over-under, I'm going to go under 42.5, Carolina and Chicago. And I'm going to go over 36.5, Vegas and Denver.
Okay. Yeah, it's becoming a little harder now with the buys.
Yeah.
So first week of buys. So I got Jets Vikings. I also have the Vikings -2.5. That's in London, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then I got Packers Rams. I got Packers -3.5. And then I have Panthers at Bears. Panthers +3.5.
Okay.
And then over unders, I've got Bucks at Falcons over 43.5. And then also Jets Vikings over 40.5. I know it's in London, but 40.5 seems.
Yeah, they always tend to like put those games at a low.
Yeah, because they tend not to score. So
but Brazil, they scored a ton in Brazil.
Yeah. So it's because they don't have shitty food like they do in London.
Dude, the fields were worse down there.
No, I said the food.
Oh, food.
The food. Yeah, no, the fields are way better in London.
Yeah, they were terrible down there.
Yeah,
it's like they took the Super Bowl grass and put it down there.
Yeah, and also like the NFL just has not said anything about either of those things.
Yeah, of course
the Super Bowl in 2022 and the week 1 in Brazil. Just
now, somebody would have tore their ACL if Jordan Love tears his ACL there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think somebody's coming out and saying something. But
yeah, my brother-in-law had a hot take about Jordan Love.
First off, I'll take your hot take, but he looked pretty good.
It wasn't my hot take; it was his hot take.
He looked pretty good after. Let's hear it.
And I don't know if I totally disagree, but I think it's too early to tell still. But he called him Dak Prescott.
No.
I'm starting to think that.
Dude, he's won a playoff game.
So is Dak. Dak's won a playoff game.
He's won, and then didn't they go to they played the 49ers in the what was that? Not the conference, in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And they took them to the fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, I don't think Dak hasn't ever done that.
Well, I mean, he's
won one game.
Yeah,
and that was.
But I just think it's more so. He's going to be a guy that. Listen, they were down 20. What was it, 28-0? It was stat padding basically.
Yeah. Yeah, but he almost came back. Like,
but it's like Stafford. Like Stafford had to throw the ball at every game because his defense always sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I think Green Bay's defense is pretty decent. It was pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I kind of see what he's saying. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, it can make a sense, some sort of sense.
But I think it's still too early.
But and he also doesn't have the weapons that Dak always has. Or had. Dak always had
probably not
Zeke or Dez or Jason Witten or
Lamb,
CD Lamb, or you know what I mean. He doesn't have any of those guys, so he's still doing it.
I think Jaden Reed is a cheat code, personally.
Yeah, dude, that dude's
a really good player. But again, it's a lot easier when you could throw the ball 100 times.
Yeah,
to try to come back to win.
I mean, Jalen could have threw it 100 times and he finished with 110 passing yards. Right? He could have threw it 100 times.
But he's never been a guy that's going to throw for 300 yards. It's just
Stafford. I mean, Goff only has 92 yards.
Yeah, he's only 12. It was only 12
for 12. That's crazy, and they're up 21-7.
Yep, I don't know how they scored any of them.
Montgomery.
Fuck.
And Jahmyr Gibbs.
I haven't even really looked at fantasy. Dude, Tyreek Hill has been so
he's got no one to throw him the ball, dude.
But even when Tua was in week 1 he was good, and then week 2 and 3 he was terrible for 2.
Yeah, he's got you throwing him the ball. Who's Skylar?
I actually might be better. Yeah, I actually might be better.
They're looking into Jimmy Garoppolo. I just saw that today.
Okay.
I feel like.
I think Tua stinks anyway. Even before he got hurt,
he could sling the rock. No, that's Tua. He could sling it.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that, but
you don't think he can throw deep passes?
No, I don't think his arm's that good.
Dude, he hits Tua.
That was the biggest concern was that he couldn't throw the ball deep because when Tyreek Hill came in.
Yeah. Who can throw the ball a better, deeper ball, Tua or Jalen Hurts? Tua.
No, Jalen Hurts. Look at the throw he made in the Super Bowl to AJ Brown. That's a great throw.
One throw.
Not only was it a lot of power, it was placed in a perfect spot.
One throw.
I'm sure we could come back and
dude. There was a game last year where Tyreek Hill had 3 touchdowns of 86 yards.
Yeah, because he catches the ball and runs.
Yeah, well, you got to hit him in stride.
Yeah, if I throw a 10-yard pass to somebody and he gets 80 yards out of it, 86 yards out of it, what the fuck did I do?
I mean, you completed the pass. You were efficient.
Yeah, that's great.
You want to talk Phillies?
Yeah. Let's make that transition. I said that I wanted to end this show happy, so let's end it happy. Did you watch any of the games today?
I did watch the games. Well,
the first game
I kept tabs on it. I was at work. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, same.
I would have rather preferred the Diamondbacks getting in because I would like the revenge game against them too.
And they're just a worse team.
Yeah, and the Braves kind of scare me for some reason. I don't know why they do.
You know what it is? You know why they scare me is because the baseball gods are going to have a say.
Yeah, and we've gotten them the past 2 years.
Yes, this is the year because they're hurt that they're going to have their revenge. So that's why I'm just hoping they lose in the wild card and we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to worry about it till the CS, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I don't know that they even make it that far, even if they do win the wild card. But
who plays in the wild card? It's Braves and the
Braves go to the Padres. And the Brewers play the Mets. Dude, so we get Brewers Mets.
Dude, the Padres are the hottest team in baseball. I don't want to
them in Detroit. Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere near the Padres.
So that's until the CS, right? Yeah. So it's the winner of that plays the Dodgers, and then the winner of that would be in the CS. So
that's something that I think last year happened that I don't understand. Like baseball doesn't reseed.
They don't reseed. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
The only sport that reseeds is football, and it makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, because the best team should play the worst team.
Yeah, that's the reward.
Yeah.
So I like the way if they're not going to reseed, I like the way that hockey does it. Hockey does the first round. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the wild cards. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3 on one division, 1, 2, 3 on the other division because there's 2 divisions in both conferences, and then 2 wild cards. So like the 1 seed on both sides of the conference get a bye or not get a bye. They play the 2 wild card, and then 2 and 3 play each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still like reseeding better, but that's probably the best way to do it because then you get division games. So like basically like it would, let's say hypothetically, like the Bruins are the 1 seed, the Maple Leafs are the 2 seed, and like I don't know who else is in that. Buffalo is the 3 seed. 2 and 3 would play each other in the same division. So like it makes it more fun when you play your division in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it makes it must watch.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so we got the Phillies game 1 Saturday. Still trying to obviously have to wait to see who we face. It's either going to be the Mets or the Brewers. Who would you rather face?
I'd rather face the Brewers.
I don't think it matters to me, honestly. I think that they could win either series. I don't know that the Mets are that much better than the Brewers, and I don't know the Brewers are that much better than the Mets.
Again, it comes down to division, and like I just wouldn't want to play a division rival.
I hear you. I just think that the Mets bullpen doesn't scare me. The Mets lineup doesn't really scare me that much.
The Brewers does?
No, it doesn't. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it really matters to me. I think that they can handle either team. So I don't know. We'll see. I talked to Mike about this a little bit. I'm curious to see what you think. I know what I would do, and I think Mike kind of agrees too. Which is never good that him and I agree on something. But
Sanchez is my second starter.
Okay, so I'll tell you why Nola's my second starter.
Is that what you were going to ask, though?
Yes. Because I think if you go up 1-0, it's important to win game 2 at home. And I'd rather go up 2-0 with Sanchez on the road in game 3. If you go down 0-1, I'm not starting Sanchez game 2.
See, I think that Aaron Nola just lets up too many home runs. And I think if you're playing in Milwaukee, for example, it's a little bit of a further ballpark, so he has less of a chance of letting home runs up. I know it sounds stupid, but
no, I don't think it's stupid. I don't think that should dictate whether or not you start a guy though, because I don't think the homers have been an issue as much as you probably think they are. Because his last, I don't know what he did on Sunday. I didn't watch Sunday, but the 2 starts before that, he only gave up 2 home runs.
Yeah, but
one run in both games.
He always gives up like inopportune home runs. Like when he gives up a home run, it's a 3-run home run. It's not a solo.
Right, but he hasn't been doing that. And also, do you feel that that past performances matter? Right, like obviously you do because you think the homers are an issue, and he's done that in the past. Right, like I just think Nola in the playoffs,
I agree,
especially at home, has been incredible. And I think that you have to ride that, and I would rather go up 2-0 with Sanchez on the road than 1-1 or 0-2 with Nola.
Okay. I mean, and you think they're only going to go 3-man rotation, right?
Well, that was going to be my next question. What do you think about Ranger?
I think you slide him to the bullpen.
So I mentioned that a while ago. You know what I just found out is his 2 starts last year, his last 2 starts of the season, he gave up 6 runs in both, which he did this time. And he came out in the playoffs and he was Ranger. So, like, do you take that chance? I don't have any
issue with Ranger. I just think that it might be better to run a 3-man rotation with that 4th one. Like if you get up, like if you're up to I don't even know.
So
if it's a game out of 7, if it's a 7-game series and you're up 3-0, then you go and you throw Ranger Stars.
Let's pull up the schedule. I don't know the days because obviously the days matter, right? Like how many days rest they get. All right, so the Phillies game 1 is Saturday, game 2 is Sunday. Game 3 would be Tuesday. So hypothetically, whatever order it is, Wheeler, Nola, Sanchez are the 3 games, right? So Tuesday, then Wednesdays is game 4. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You'd have Wheeler on 4 days rest.
4 days.
I think it depends what happens. I think it depends what happens though. I think if you're up 2-1,
you probably
throw him out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. If you're down, he's pitching that game no matter what. Because if not, that's going to be the opposite. You're going to be close to an elimination game. You're going to throw him anyway.
Correct. You're up 2-1 or down 2-1. So, yeah, I mean, maybe. Okay, well, here's a scary thought. Let's say they are 2-1. They're up 2-1 going into the game 4, right? And Sanchez is the one that blows or is the one that has the loss, right? Would you feel confident in him again in starting him in let's say you win the series? Would you feel confident enough in him starting again?
Well, what's the score of the game that he loses?
Well, I don't know. But let's say he didn't look great.
Like, is it like 2-1 and the bats were quiet? Because then, yeah, I still do feel comfortable throwing him. If it's like 6-1 and he lasts 3 2/3 innings, then I'm like, okay, maybe not. But I think you got to go with what got you there, and I think that's like the way that it's going to be. And what's it called?
Yeah.
Did it last year? Texas did it last year, and they went with what got them there. And they didn't have the greatest pitching in the world, but they got it done.
Everybody was dead.
They got it done with what was there. So I think my only thing is I've been like touting to my brother and uncle. I do think that he's going to be the number 2. That Sanchez is going to be the number 2.
I don't think so. I really don't. I really don't think they're going to.
I think the only reason he's not is because of like recency bias and like what we know of Nola in the playoffs. Like that,
Right.
That might be the only reason why. But I think like looking at it, he deserves it. Like Sanchez probably deserves the nod as the number 2. And he might be more conducive to win at Citizens Bank Park than Nola because he gets a lot of ground ball outs. And he keeps the ball like on the ground, not in the air, which always is better for them.
So you think he deserves game 2 more than Nola does?
I think okay, so I think this would be a ballsy move, but I think you throw him game 2 of the NLDS just like to show Nola like, hey dude, like, and then you throw Nola game 2 of the NLCS. Like you kind of like let him know like, hey dude, you're not our everything. Like we can win without you, even though we just paid him a ton of money. Like I could see that happen. I couldn't see that happening because Thompson's not like that. He plays his guys.
Yeah.
So, dude, David Montgomery is so good.
Yeah, I know.
That's the Chicago just lets people go. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Nola's definitely the game 2 guy. I think he's earned it over the years. I think, especially the last few years, the way he's pitched in the postseason. I actually think they're disappointed that Ranger's not going to be the 3. Truly,
okay.
I'm disappointed that he's not.
Well, I mean,
not because Sanchez doesn't deserve it, or like, it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing that Ranger's a real concern, right? Like, if I would have told you in April that Christopher Sanchez was the 3 over Ranger, I think in April and May we were having a discussion that Ranger might be the 2 in the playoffs.
We thought that Ranger could have won the Cy Young.
Right. His first 9 starts were incredible. I genuinely think that in April, May, and June, we were sitting here saying, dude, Sanchez might start, or not Sanchez, Ranger might take game 2. So it's a little disappointing with how it's gone so far. I'm not going to say ended because it hasn't ended yet, but
I don't think he's. I think he'll. My brother was saying something along the lines of, my brother's not like this great baseball mind, but he's like, I would run a 4-man rotation, but I would do Ranger and Spencer Turnbull in game 4. And I'm like, dude, Spencer Turnbull isn't pitched in.
Right. That's the problem.
God knows how long. And like game 4, you might be, down 2-1. You're going to throw them in there. Like, that's not going to happen ever.
It's what I really could see them do is, remember with the game we went to against Atlanta 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Syndergaard pitched.
Yep.
I think that Ranger could be that. Yeah, I think Ranger could be that emergency guy, but also throw the bullpen. Like
Lorenzen did that too, right?
Yes. I think so.
Year,
yeah. So I definitely think he's going to be like their flexible guy. Like Eflin. Remember Eflin 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't start any games, but he moved to the bullpen. And
Eflin just did. He was amazing that World Series year.
They just weren't going to pay him, and it's a shame. Yeah. But I also wanted to mention something going into next year too, about the discussions like Painter and
Griff McGarry. Did you see Mick Abel got he's going to continue playing? Whatever happened, he got promoted to some league where what happened?
Did you see that touchdown?
I'm watching it right now. Yeah, that's crazy.
Nick Foles did it better, but
yeah, that was a awful pass by Amon-Ra.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying about right?
Abel got promoted to another league because I think they end in September, beginning of September.
Yes, but the end of August, I think. Late August, early September. Yeah.
He got moved down to play in Florida right now, so he's still playing right now. So
right.
I think he has a real shot to make the team next year, dude.
So what I think they do is, I wouldn't be shocked if I don't know if they do this. They may DFA Walker.
You have to.
But my thought is they come into next year. He comes into spring training on the team. I think they say, okay, you're gonna have spring training to figure out if you could be a bullpen guy because we still owe you X amount of money. And even if he looks okay. And he can't. That's the thing is he can't do what he did this year, where he pitches 3 innings out of the bullpen. He's got to be a 1-inning guy, which I don't know that he could do that because he's proven that he always has that one bad inning. But I think that there's a possibility. I'm not saying they should do this or I would agree with it, but I think there is a possibility that they could say to Walker, because we owe you so much money, we'll bring you back, but you're going to be a bullpen guy and you're only going to pitch 1 inning a game, and you have a very, very short leash. And if you fuck this up, we're going to get rid of you. And I think they can bring back Turnbull to be the 5th guy.
But to him, what motivates him to even want to play well? If they DFA him, he still gets paid. If he pitches bad, he still gets paid. Basically, you know what I mean?
I don't think it matters what he wants. It's the Phillies get.
That's what I'm saying. Just cut him and just be done with him. That way you don't have to worry about it. You're going to pay him regardless.
Yeah, I just. Sure. No, I hear what you're saying. I just think that they go into next year thinking it's a business, right? How to get the most out of my profit or what I've spent money on. It's I'm not saying they do this. I just it's just a thought that came to my head is it could be a possibility that they say next year we'll give you a shot in spring training and early in the year, kind of like Didi Gregorius in 2022. They were like, yeah, you're probably done, but we'll give you a shot because we have this other guy in Stott. We'll give you a shot. And they DFA'd him in May or June or whatever it was, and you never heard from him again. So I think that could possibly happen with Walker. Not saying he'll be good at it. I'm not saying I hope he's good. I'm just saying I just wouldn't be shocked because there's so much money and so much time left on that contract that could be a possibility.
Is there only one more year, right, after this? Or is there 2?
He's got 2 more. He's got 25 and 26. Yeah. It was a 4-year deal, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's what I'm saying. If he had 1 year left, they absolutely get rid of him and say goodbye. But terrible. I just think they give him a shot in the a real shot in the bullpen, a real shot in the offseason to become a bullpen guy and succeed at it. And I don't think they put him in high leverage situations. I think it's maybe a long man kind of thing, kind of what Strom was supposed to be when he came here, and obviously he's been way better than what he was supposed to be. But yeah, that's why with 2 years left in the deal, I just don't know if they just say, okay, goodbye. I think they give him a shot to work in the offseason as a bullpen guy, do different things, have a different role, and if it just doesn't work out that way,
Yeah.
And then I think they bring back Turnbull, who has had injury history in the past.
A lot of injury history.
Yeah, he's been a decent player. Like in his career, it's just he can't stay healthy. So I think that they do the same thing they did this year, bring in like 3 or 4 guys that could be, up and down from AAA to the majors, to kind of, if Painter's not ready.
When are we going to get Micah Bell and Griff McGarry a chance?
You bring those guys.
When are we going to give them a chance?
I don't know that they're ever going to get a chance. I just don't know that they're that good.
You can't tell me that they're not better than that other Jordan Phillips or whatever these kids' names are.
I don't know. I don't watch Griff McGarry or Micah Bell, so I can't sit here and tell you yes or no because it's not all about the stats. It's about the eye test too, and like. Maybe they do things that just don't fit in the MLB. I don't know what the answer is, but clearly the last 2 years have been ready, and they just won't bring them up for a reason. I don't know what that reason is.
Yeah. You want to talk about Pete Rose dying?
Who, that creep crumb?
The same day that Mutombo dies?
Mutombo, yeah. Mutombo sucks. Like that really sucks. Just the way, obviously cancer fucking sucks.
Brain cancer.
Yeah, just a bad way to go. It's tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pete Rose.
Was there a cause of death for him?
Right now they say natural causes, no foul play.
Unfortunate.
Do you think he gets in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Like this year?
I don't know when, but soon.
Like, do you think now that he's dead, he's in the Hall of Fame?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Like a posthumanness Hall of Fame?
Yep. I think Bonds eventually gets in.
You think Diddy had anything to do with it?
Did what?
Diddy had anything to do with it?
Diddy probably had something to do with it. Dude, we talked about Diddy so much last week, you missed out. And the Gaza Strip, it was crazy.
I didn't know if maybe Diddy had something to do with Pete Rose and Mutombo's death.
Possibly.
The verdict's not out on it yet?
No. I mean, it's listen, anything's possible with Diddy.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, there you go.
It's his brand, right?
Yeah.
Or was that 50 Cent? Who owns Henny? Is that that's Puff Daddy, right?
I think so.
So anything's possible.
There you
go. Dude, I was gonna have a I'm not. Never mind. I'm not gonna
tell me it. No,
I'm not gonna say it.
No, you have to.
I was gonna bring baby CJ's baby oil and just have it sitting here like that.
Costco does not sell baby oil. Apparently, they made a statement immediately.
Yeah, I was just gonna have it sitting out.
That's kind of surprising that they don't sell baby oil, though.
Yeah, well, who needs it in large quantities?
True. P. Diddy.
Like, I literally, CJ's we bought it before he was born. I think we've used like about that much of it.
Yeah.
I think it lasts forever.
Yeah.
Not in Diddy's case.
No, he goes to them
quick. Like 1,000 bottles needed quick.
Yeah.
The quickest.
Dude, I was telling Mike last week. I drove like when I was in California. I drove by his house, and like you could just like feel like when you drive by a house like in your neighborhood and like it just looks like there's like ghosts or something. Like it looks like it's a haunted. Well, I didn't think it was haunted, but like it had that like same feeling. Like, you looked at it and you're like, some fucked up shit goes on in that house. Like it's a block long. Like literally, like it's a street block long. So like you just kind of look at it, you're like. Some fucked up shit goes on in that house. Like there are so many windows in that house. Like there are probably rooms that nobody's ever even known about.
Have you seen the memes that have been coming out?
Yeah.
Did you see the one like that Biggie wasn't really cross-eyed, he just always kept an eye on on Diddy.
I didn't see that one. That's a good one.
It's like a picture of him sitting there and his one eye's just on Diddy while he's like mixing.
Yeah, the lazy eyes, unreal. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Did you get picked for the lottery?
I didn't.
I did not either.
Well, actually, you know what? So my wife did it too. She was not selected. I haven't gotten an email.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a
Dude,
positive or a negative.
That could be promising.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I made it to the next round.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, so if there's anything else, Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, anything.
I mean, the big threer finally was revealed today. Did you see the
picture? Yeah. I was talking today about somebody. I'm probably the most excited I've been in a long time, 2-3 years. I think that their bench has a problem long term. I think that they could get to the trade deadline with, being a top 3 seed with this bench. I just think if they're going to get into the playoffs and make like a run, they're going to have to bring in another guy or two off the bench. I'm kind of curious to see who their starting 5 is going to be. Is it going to be Lowry, Maxey?
Lowry. You think they would start Lowry and Maxey?
Lowry. I mean, they did it last year.
Yeah,
they brought Lowry in.
Yeah, but I would think it would be what? Maxey, George, Embiid,
Martin. Would start the 4.
Who?
George, or what's his name? Martin.
Kenyon.
The guy they just signed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Martin. The dude they just signed from the Heat. What's his name?
Kenyon Martin.
Is it Kenyon?
It's something with a K. I know it's that. It's a K. K Martin.
No, Kenyon is the. He's going to be like the last guy off the bench. Hold on. I can't believe I'm watching his name right now. Hold on a second. Caleb Martin.
Yeah. And you're probably going to have to start Oubre, right?
So here's the thing. I think that's their best starting 5. I think Maxey at the 1, Oubre at the 2, George at the 3, Martin at the 4, Joel at the 5. But the problem you run in is you're really small off the bench at that point. So Lowry comes off the bench, Reggie Jackson comes off the bench, Eric Gordon comes off the bench, Jared McCain comes off the bench, and Ricky Council come off the bench.
They're all small, yeah.
Well,
you had Andre Drummond. Drummond's a big guy.
Right. But if you take center out, because all centers are big. I just mean like their 1 through 4 gets kind of small.
Yeah.
The dude that they signed from
Paris. What about the dude from France?
He's small too, though. He's 6'8". Like he's not.
I mean, to back up to be a backup 4. I mean, that's not terribly small.
I just want size. That's at the deadline. I want size. Like I think that's what they lacked the last few years is size in the 4 and the 5, especially the 4. Like I said, I think it could work until the deadline. But at the deadline, I think you're gonna have to do something. The dude that they signed from Paris or from the Olympics is a big liability defensively.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he is. I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be good or bad. His NBA career has been bad so far, but it's been a while since he's been here.
What's his name? Bona?
No, Bona is the draft pick from UCLA. He's the 2nd round pick. He's going to be in the G League.
What's the dude?
They announced that today. It's like I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Gershon Yabusele.
Okay, I see him.
Yeah. I'm just not. I don't have like big expectations for him. I'm. You know who I do have big expectations for in the role that he's going to be in, and it's not going to be a huge role, but he's going to be one of the first guys off the bench probably.
Eric Gordon?
No, Ricky Council. I'm a big Ricky Council guy.
Okay.
I like what I saw from him last year and in summer league this year.
Okay. I mean, he's a what? 2nd year?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
yeah, bigger role. So I'm excited to see what he's got. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited, but I'm not like the last 2 years. I was just like, oh, the Sixers are on, cool, and like I would just watch something else and just kind of board watch. Where this year for the Flyers and the Sixers, I'm like, I'm gonna make time to actually watch
every game
as much as I can. Yeah.
Okay. I tried to watch every Phillies game this year.
It's tough.
Very tough.
Yeah. I try to be the 162 for 162, but it's almost impossible to be.
Yeah.
You just kind of watch as much as you possibly can. It's hard to be 82 for 82.
Yeah. No,
You know?
and then the games when they're like losing 10-0, like I'm out at that point.
Yeah.
Flipping the channel.
And also it's the maybe not the Phillies, but more so like the Sixers and the Flyers. It's like that Saturday afternoon game that like you're at a birthday party. You know what I mean? Like you just miss them, you know? But yeah, I don't know. So is there anything else we had to talk about? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do the spiel that Mike always does. Follow us, like us, do all that bullshit. You know who you should not follow? That's P. Diddy. And we will get out of here, and we will. Wait, I gotta pull it up. Okay, because at the beginning you asked me, you were like, "Did we
intro?
No intro?" And I clicked it. New computer. This is the first time I'm on with the new computer. So I'm getting used to it still. But yeah. So we will see everybody next week.